So good afternoon everyone. This is the first lecture of physics. In this lecture, we will try to understand what physics is. So first of all, I'd like to tell you physics comes from Greek word. The symbol you can see which I have used here, that is actually physike. This word which is written in ancient Greek, its name is actually physike, meaning knowledge of nature. So why this knowledge of nature is so important and why we should understand the nature? As we all know that guys, human have always been fascinated or curious about most of the things around the world, like a regular repetition of day and night, cycles of season like winter, rainy and summer season, eclipses, solar and lunar eclipses, volcanoes, tides, rainbows. These all are around us from the beginning of this universe. Okay. Now, guys, one thing actually early civilization has explored, like early civilizations of Egypt, Greece, Mesopotamia, and India. They have done some important contribution and their vital contributions to understand this nature and many more things actually done by the ancient civilizations. And one of uh, and after that time to time there is some modernization is done in the old theory. Now question is arising in your mind, how one can understand the nature and what scientific method involves in this process. So guys, this is not very simple question, so I cannot give you direct answer of these things, but I would like to give you some clue how scientist thinks and how scientific method works. Guys, first of all, you have to, if you have to be explore any things, you have an observation which is systematic observation. Suppose if you observe something only for few times, it may be wrong observation. So systematic observation, and this takes some time. Okay. Then controlled experiment, you can do experiments many ways, but what I'm talking about, controlled experiment. Qualitative and quantitative reasoning means you should explain this experiment which you have done is verifying the things all around the world. This is not like that this is valid in India but it is failed in USA or other country like that. So that has a quantitative and qualitative reasoning. Mathematical modeling, you should derive some mathematics to give you give your laws or predictions correct. And predictions and verifications, or you can say that falsification of the theories, also one of the part of the scientific method. So what I want to try to make you understand, I'm giving one examples, so to you understand all the phenomena. So what are the scopes for you guys to understand the physics, what you can do? So guys, the biggest thing in this world is that there is no final theory in science. Many a times the existing theory has to be challenged by the new scientist and they modified or completely replace the new theory. So if you are curious about the things and you have the ability to understand and explore the subject, you can challenge the existing theory and you can change the perception of the earlier scientist, and you can make your own theory which is actually a revolution in the subject. Okay. Now guys, I would like to give you some examples so that you can understand what I want to explain. Like guys, you know that Jonathan Kepler, that is a scientist who gave the planetary motion. But guys, you know that planetary motion was not the entire work of Kepler. Before Kepler, actually there was a scientist Tycho Brahe. So Tycho Brahe collected all the information, but unfortunately Tycho Brahe cannot publish his theory and cannot explain this planetary motion in detail. So Tycho Brahe's collections, means whatever the things he collected during his 30 years of research, Jonathan Kepler actually explained the extensive data and laws of planetary motion that I already discussed in class 9th in the Kepler's law of planetary motion. There are 3 laws given by Kepler, which I have already discussed. Galileo was one of the greatest scientists. We can understand his contribution to our subject. So Galileo found flaws in Aristotle's argument. What Aristotle said that an external force is required to keep the body in uniform motion. So guys, Galileo found this law is not correct and he gives the law of inertia, which is later explained by Newton. So guys, this type of things happens, and you know that Newton's theory of mechanics is also not completely define the things like atomic model. So I have written Newtonian mechanics could not explain most basic features of atomic physics like quantum mechanics. Also we have seen that Newton said that a light is a particle in nature, but Huygens proved that light has a wave character also. Interference, polarization, diffraction cannot be explained by Newtonian assumption. So Huygens proved that light is a wave, but you know that wave theory of light cannot explain the photoelectric effect. For this photoelectric effect, Einstein got Nobel. So guys, ultimately come to the conclusion that light is dual in nature. So this type of thing, and this proves in 1921 by de Broglie, who said that this means last century, you can say, they have proved that light is dual in nature. So guys, there is a lot of scope for you also. If your observation is very systematic and you have some mathematical modeling and calculations and all these things you can explore this subject as much as you can. In short, what actually physics try to do? So 2 things actually physics try to do. First thing is unification, guys, and second is reduction. So what is this unification and reduction? You should know that there are some laws which try to explain several phenomena like gravitation, how anything when you throw upward it will fall to the earth, means Newton's law of gravitation try to explain these things, falling of apple by Newton's universal law of gravitation. But this gravitation also explains when moon revolves around the earth and other planet revolves around the sun. See, this gravitation explains these things also. Now second thing I can tell you guys, there are scientist Maxwell, he gives 4 law of electromagnetism. That 4 law completely defines electric and magnetic effects, all like electromagnetism entirely explained by only 4 law of mechanics. Electromagnetism, guys, electromagnetism's 4 law completely explain the electric and magnetic phenomena. Now guys, you have heard about the recent scientist, and he tried to explain everything in terms of single theory. So the theory of everything, I know you know the name of the scientist, you can write me in comment box. Theory of everything was tried to explain by that scientist, and most of the things he tried to explain that in his book The Theory of Everything. Recently he died. Actually you can name the scientist who tried to explain theory of everything in physics, and he is one of the greatest physicists of the modern era. So you can name them in a comment box. So guys, that is why this is unification of the subject. And what is the second thing, guys? Another attempt made in physics is to explain microscopic system in terms of its macroscopic system in terms of microscopic constituents. This is reductionism. So guys, unification and reductionism, since these are the things which is not understood by you exactly, but I'll try to explain these things in later in videos, what are these things, and these things I will explain in detail. So this is not my point right now. Now guys, actually you have seen 2 words here, macroscopic and microscopic. So what are the scopes of physics? So there are 2 scopes which I have already mentioned, macroscopic and microscopic. Macroscopic means classical physics, like You know that mechanics, optics, thermodynamics, electrodynamics, this all comes under the category of macroscopic domain, that is classical physics. And it basically includes the phenomena which you can perform at lab, terrestrial and astronomical scale. These things actually includes macroscopic domain, but microscopic or quantum mechanics deals with atoms, molecules and nuclear level, though nuclear physics is basically discussed in other part, which is microscopic domain of the physics. So guys, one thing I can tell you, that physics is related to all the subjects what you know basically, like you know mathematics. So calculus is devised by Newton to understand the laws of physics. Now chemistry, you know structure of atom, X-rays, radioactivity is actually taken from physics only. Biology, so in biology you know that you study the structure of cell, all the things. So electron microscope helps you to study about things, and electron microscope is a part of physics. Geology, in order to determine the age of rocks and fossils, you understand this carbon dating, all this phenomena. Actually this is also a branch of physics. Seismology and meteorology is also related to physics. Now guys, what contribution physics did to society? So guys, development, though I cannot write in words, but I try to summarize some things so that you can understand how physics revolutionized the revolution by physics to the society. You can see that I have taken some points like telephones, radio, televisions, computers, satellite for communication, lasers, aeroplane, train, automobiles, rocket propulsion, generators, optical fibers, X-ray, MRI, and many more things which is not possible for me to include all these things. So, and you can also include some things which is contribution of physics to the society is given by this dynamic subject. So I have started the basics, and how we will proceed we will see in further lectures. So today I'm going to stop here only guys. And one thing you have to do, you have to read this subject not as a subject to give something to society. So physics try to contribute a lot to society. So my just request to everyone that read this subject not for actually as a subject, just read this subject, try to give something to your society.